Good Monday evening. I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11 Alive Weather Impact Team, where we have this extended weather update for you, watching our showers that have been out there for part of the evening hours that are fading out. Plus, we're going to have an extended look at what's going on right now with Hurricane Erin. Still, the storm is in the Atlantic, moving away and kind of paralleling the Bahamas. It's pushing toward the United States. We still think it's going to curve away, but there will be some impacts on the southeast coast, even though it's not going to be a landfalling hurricane. We're going to break all of that down for you coming up in just a little bit. First, though, let's take a look at what's happening in our area, where we have mainly dry conditions over most spots, but there are a few scattered showers that we've been watching. This is a 6-hour loop that shows us some of the showers and storms that fired up beginning late this afternoon. You can see some of these that were in Gilmer County and then Pickens County. We had reports of 3 structure fires up in Jasper and Pickens County today, and you can see how we had all that lightning with that storm there. Then it crossed into parts of northwestern areas of Cherokee County, kind of fired up again here in Bartow County, then moved on down to the south. You can see that pushing from Cobb County, also into Paulding County, parts of Haralson County, and then Carroll County, Douglas County had a few of those showers. Here in the metro area, we had a few of those isolated showers that popped up here and there. Not necessarily ones that stayed active for very long, but just really popping up and raining themselves out as they were drifting down toward the south and to the west. In fact, the latest ones we have just inside the perimeter here are just on the east side, where you can still see a little bit of rain that's taking place in parts of DeKalb County, moving into central Fulton County. That's trying to push in closer to the city of Atlanta. We can get in a little bit closer to some of these right here that are, in fact, yeah, you can see those right there. Pretty much along 85, not too far off from the Shallowford exit, Claremont Road exit, getting closer to the North Druid Hills exit here, there in DeKalb County, and then pushing into Fulton County. But nothing really major, just some good showers coming down. Also on the north side, you can see those storms we were watching earlier. Things have calmed down. We had some showers and storms in Rabun County that developed a little bit earlier. A lot of those kind of flared up again in Habersham County, but those are now all fading out as they push on down toward the south and also to the west. And then on the south side, not as much going on there. We had some of those showers and storms earlier in South Fulton, northern Coweta, also in parts of Carroll County. Now not that much activity, and I'm really thinking during the rest of the nighttime hours, a lot of the activity is going to be kind of calming down as we're beginning to lose some of the heating today. Speaking of heat, we got up to 94 degrees out there this afternoon. Here is a live look at looking over Truist Park, where you can see that the Braves are playing tonight. And we really saw a nice sunset that was mixing in with some of the clouds earlier, where the sun was setting right about here a little bit earlier. We were also watching some rain shafts over on the west side too. And also the Braves game started about 15 minutes late because of some nearby showers, but no real big impacts going on right now at Truist Park. And then here's a live look. This is our tower cam at Northside Hospital looking northward. We were watching this a little bit earlier too, where we were seeing some of those rain shafts in the distance on the north side there. But of course it's dark now. And you know, I used to show you, before the sun started setting a little bit earlier, a lot of times when we would do this 9 o'clock extended update, when the sun was setting at 8:51, we would still have some light there on the horizon. But now it is dark at 9 o'clock. The sun sets now around 8:21. So those days are getting a little bit shorter, of course, as we move closer to those fall months. And then here's a live look. This is our tower cam at Arizona Avenue in DeKalb County looking westward. We had a nice orange sky just a little while ago as the sun had already gone down, but it was still kind of pointing up since it was below the horizon, still illuminating some of the clouds there. But of course, it is all getting dark out there right now too. All right, here is the latest on what we are watching with the tropics. This is the 8 p.m. advisory that came out a little while ago on Hurricane Erin, and the wind speeds have actually come down a little bit. We had earlier winds of around 140 miles an hour. Now they're down to 130 miles an hour, moving to the northwest at about 10 miles an hour. You can see here, so Puerto Rico is right over here. So the storm is really far away from Puerto Rico. Haiti and the Dominican Republic, getting some of those outer bands on the south side, a little bit of that into Cuba as well. Here we have the southern Bahamas right here, Turks and Caicos Islands right down in here, and of course those southern Bahamas. They are still feeling the brunt of not an actual landfall, but just this is such a large hurricane with hurricane force winds extending about 80 miles out from the center, and then tropical storm force winds extending about 230 miles out from the center. So it's very large with those wind fields that are really impacting both sides of the actual hurricane. So the Bahamas feeling some of the effects there, Turks and Caicos as well, where they're having windy conditions and a lot of rough surf there on all of those islands. So this is going to continue pulling up toward the north and then curving away. You can see tropical storm watches here. Now these aren't indicated here, but there's tropical storm warnings on these southern islands and also down into parts of Turks. You can see that blue there. But the other thing that happened today with the 5 o'clock update is that the National Hurricane Center included the Outer Banks as well as Pamlico Sound here in a tropical storm watch. Now you may be saying, wait a minute, Chris, I thought y'all said this thing was curving away. Well, it is. But remember, I said it was a very large hurricane with those tropical storm force winds extending about 230 miles out from the center. So even with the hurricane coming up from this direction and then moving away from the United States and not having a landfall on the southeast United States, it is going to be close enough for the Outer Banks to potentially get some of those tropical storm force winds. So that's why they have a watch, meaning the conditions are likely that you may experience some tropical storm force winds. Now, ironically, this storm is hundreds of miles away, and we have already had rough surf and rip currents at Wrightsville Beach here that were already causing more than 50 water rescues today. Because of the rough surf that's happening there. And it's only going to get rougher out there too. So let me show you the wind fields first. All right, this is a look at the tropical winds for tonight. And you can see those winds coming down into the southeast Bahama Islands and into Turks and Caicos as well. So watch as this moves up toward the north and west, and then it's going to start curving away. But you see here, now the main tropical storm force winds are these areas that kind of go out into the red color, all right? The yellow color, though, is indicating winds between 20 and 25 miles an hour. That's going to be moving into the Georgia coast. So really everybody from Miami up to the Outer Banks and then beyond, upward to the north and east, needs to be preparing for at least some sort of impacts, whether that is some enhanced breezes and rough surf. So it's going to be very dangerous surf here as this gets a little bit closer to us. So you can see those winds coming in, impacting the Georgia coast, maybe 20, 25 mile an hour winds there early on Wednesday. That goes up to the Carolina coast as well. Then notice, I should have put a pause point there. Let me back it up because I want you guys to see this here, if it'll let me do this. I'm going to just back this up to, okay, I'm going to have to put it in pause here. I'm going to back this up to right in here, all right? So this shows us the purples and reds right there into the Outer Banks. And so this is why we're thinking they could have tropical storm force winds there. Now remember, the center of the storm is still offshore. It's not moving inland, it's not making landfall, but it's getting close enough to give those areas the potential, most likely late Wednesday into Thursday, of some tropical storm force winds. They had mandatory evacuations today in the Outer Banks, thinking that, number one, there's going to be some wind there, but you know, it's not like hurricane force winds, but still some potential tropical storm force winds. But they're thinking the surf is going to be so rough there that it may wash out some of the roads there on the Outer Banks up toward Cape Hatteras, Nag's Head. So they've had some mandatory evacuations in those Outer Banks. So that's why they could have some impacts. Notice those winds are calming down on the Georgia coast, we're thinking by Thursday. So it's not really a long time event or anything, but just know that that wind is going to be a potential issue. Now, let me show you the waves. There may be 50+ foot waves around the center of the circulation out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. So that, of course, would impact any shipping or anything, but most of the ships are going to be avoiding this here. But notice the blue colors here. Again, from the Florida coast, Georgia coast, Carolina coast, North Carolina coast there, where we see those wave heights that are going to be 1.5, maybe some waves, 8 to 10 feet. Just going to be really interesting to watch those there as well. And then this goes into Thursday morning. Again, Erin's staying offshore, but those, not only the winds coming in, but that rough surf. Then we're getting into greens and even maybe the yellow colors coming in here, there on the Outer Banks. So we're talking 15 to maybe 25 plus foot waves on the Outer Banks by Thursday morning. So there will be some impacts there, and those rip currents will be deadly, really from Florida to Georgia to the Carolinas, and then even up to the north and east before everything finally starts pulling away and slowing down a little bit. So here is the actual track. This is the 8 o'clock update here, and it shows it most likely going from Wednesday afternoon, kind of paralleling, just off the, not off the Georgia coast, but pretty much they're even with the Georgia coast, and then curving away as it's trying to get closer to the Carolina coast there, still is a Cat 3 on Thursday, early morning, late Wednesday into early Thursday, and then moving up, becoming a Cat 2, and then eventually a Cat 1 as it moves into some of those cooler waters and it starts to calm down a little bit. But again, no landfall on the Atlantic coastline, but close enough to give some impacts. And of course, the spaghetti model plots, the computer models, pretty much in consensus of curving it away as well and not moving inland. So we have a couple of other areas to watch too. We have another one in the central Atlantic that looks like it's going to meander out here a little bit, but then when it gets a little bit closer to the Leeward Islands here in this orange color, that's when it gets up to a 60% chance of developing. Now what's going to be interesting with this, that is a similar track that Erin took, and often what happens when you see another system, another potential system, moving in right behind another one on a similar track, there's going to be some upwelling in the ocean from how strong the system was. It's just going to upwell some cooler water. So the ocean temperatures are going to be interesting to watch there, if they're even going to be, how warm they will be or how the upwelling cools those waters down a little bit, as to whether or not that would weaken that potential next storm that will be coming in. There's another one coming off the coast of Africa. It has a 10% chance of developing over the next 7 days. But again, we're getting a succession of waves coming off the coast of Africa, and of course we'll just have to watch them as they get out in the Atlantic. It got hot today. 94 degrees was our high temperature. Low this morning was 76 degrees. 89 is the average high for this time of year, so we're 5 degrees above the average, and our rainfall deficit running almost an inch below where we should be in rainfall for the year. We had that mild start this morning, and then in the middle of the afternoon, that's when we made it up into those 90s. We actually bumped up to 94 there in between those hourlies. Right now, temperatures are still on the mild side, holding in the lower 80s over a big part of metro Atlanta, and then some 70s up in North Georgia. Those areas that picked up some rain actually are a little bit cooler than what we are here in the Atlanta area. Here's a look at tomorrow. We're going to get up to about 91 tomorrow, maybe not quite as warm as it was today, but we see those rain chances a little higher during the day tomorrow. Here is a look at the forecast track. Any of those isolated showers tonight diminishing. Tomorrow morning will be a dry start, still dry at lunchtime, a few clouds mixing in with the sunshine, and then in the afternoon, there you see it, some of those scattered showers redeveloping here, some of those with some pockets of heavy rain, thunder and lightning possible. That dies out in the evening hours. Wednesday, another dry start. Lunchtime is still dry, but then in the afternoon, a few scattered showers. Not as many scattered showers here on Wednesday compared to what we think we're going to have here during the day on Tuesday. Rain chances Wednesday and Thursday come down a little bit to about 30%. So here's the 7-day forecast where you can see those temperatures holding in the low 90s Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, with those rain chances down a little bit Wednesday and Thursday. Then look what happens Friday and Saturday. Number one, the rain chances. Those go up to 50%. With the better coverage of showers, more clouds and not as much sunshine, the temperatures are going to come down a little bit. We're talking about Mid 80s we're thinking for Friday and Saturday, then back to the upper 80s Sunday and Monday as the rain chances come back down to about 30% Sunday, and then a 20% chance for showers here on your Monday. So we have a lot to watch, and that's why we love 11 Alive Plus and Weather Impact 24/7. This allows us to give you these extended weather updates, not only here, but also on YouTube. If you are watching on YouTube right now, be sure and download the 11 Alive Plus app. We've got a bunch of viewers on YouTube. So if you're watching us now, download the 11 Alive Plus app on your television, and when you download it, you'll find the 11 Alive Plus stuff. And at the bottom of the carousel, you'll also see Weather Impact 24/7. You'll be able to check out radar any time of the day, take a look at the radar loops as well. We have a lot of weather content we share on that channel, as well as long extended weather updates, just like the one that I'm doing right now. And of course, we'll be doing a lot more when we see Erin getting a little bit closer, and when we start seeing more of those impacts there on the Georgia coast. So thank you for joining us for this extended weather update. We hope you have a great night. We'll have another update tonight at 11 o'clock on 11 Alive News at 11. And that's when we'll have our brand new 11 p.m. advisory on what's happening right now with Hurricane Erin. So you'll have a great night. We'll see you a little later.